Hello and welcome to Heroes World TGIF, the show all about what's new and great at Heroes World. I'm your host, Andre, and I'm joined with.
Jesse, sorry,
All
I missed
right.
my cue there.
All right. Hey, it's Friday. It's been a long week,
It
but
does.
hey, we are here with lots of cool geek and nerd stuff to hopefully set your weekend up right. But first and foremost, let's wish everybody south of the border, we're in Canada, so all of our American viewers and friends, happy Thanksgiving weekend and have a safe and, shall we say, fun Black Friday if you are out there grabbing up the deals and getting the first of your Christmas shopping done. I know at the store we had some Christmas shoppers out there early, and it's a nice thing to see. So, hey, let's have some fun, but let's keep the merriment around and be good to all of the people who work retail or even, the servers in restaurants and stuff, because
Yeah.
as we know, this is a very, very frantic time of year, and a smile and a nice wave goes a long way to our people working retail. So, Jesse, how you doing? How's your weekend shaping up? What have you been getting up to?
What have I been getting up to? That's a pretty loaded question. Um, I believe last week I kind of teased I was going to start watching the anime Cowboy Bebop, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yes, the
Like,
anime, the original
yes,
1998 Cowboy Bebop. Love this image. Our bounty hunters looking in the lineup, and just look at all that cool original swagger. They are all different characters, very unique. So, Jesse, what was your first impression of Cowboy Bebop?
I can't remember if the first episode starts off with the opening sequence. I think it does, but that
It
initial
does.
opening sequence with the intro and the music, I think it makes the whole show. It sets the tone of the
It sets
show.
the tone. Yep.
It's kind of like a jazzy cowboy western space opera. If
That's exactly
that's
what it is.
and the main character Spike, he's just so likable. He seems like the luckiest unlucky man in the world. Like I'm only 4 episodes in now, and he's had 4 different bounties, and I think he's let every bounty go, or every bounty's snuck through his fingers, and
Yes, yes, for sure.
just a great show. I love the dog. Her,
Ein,
yes. If we look at this original picture here, I do not know who the far character is on the right,
you
but
haven't met yet.
yes, but I'm sure I'll probably meet in the next episode or so, and yeah, I'm just loving it so far.
Yeah,
But
no, it's a winner of a show. It's just phenomenal, super original, super stylistic, and yeah, just a whole lot of fun. So did you have a chance to check out the live action Cowboy Bebop?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Andre. You asked me to watch episode one. I didn't. I stuck to the anime. I just think it's better in my opinion.
Yep.
Um, Looking at the live action one, remember Uncharted? How they had that little fan made Uncharted
Yes.
with Nathan Fillion?
Yep.
It kind of has the same tone to me as that,
Yep.
like sort of like a fan made like homage to the original, but not really. You've seen it, right?
I have seen it.
What did
Unfortunately.
what you didn't like it?
Listen, yeah. I I've had, because of the shop and where we work, where I
Yeah.
work, and stuff, we get to talk shop about all of this stuff. And Cowboy Bebop obviously came up and stuff, and I just don't know what they are going for with this. The original is so unique. Like you mentioned, all those things, all this mashing up of all these different genres, and then the music pulling it all together. But the one thing I would never say about the anime, and I'm fortunate enough to have watched it when it first came out, but it
Yeah.
came out in 1998. There was nothing cheap and hokey about the anime. Nothing.
Yeah,
Like it didn't, and I just think that this comes off as a cheap knockoff. It's like they were trying to stay too close to what worked color palette wise to the anime, and the costumes look cheap and stuff like that. The casting, I don't have a huge problem with the casting, but to me, none of it felt right. But I will say the big thing that solidified my distaste of it, or dislike, not distaste, my distaste of it, was that the first episode is an hour.
Yep.
The anime is 22 minutes, right? And it's tight. You get introductions, you get character, you get a whole feel for the vibe of this thing. And so I was like, okay, what did they do? And I think the first episode, they kind of tried to mash up episode 1 and episode 3 or 4 of the original. However, that's still an extra 15 minutes. So I'm like, I didn't feel it. And I felt that, watching the first episode of the anime again, because I went and watched it after I watched the remake or the live action. And man, that's a gut punch. Like it seems like it's fun and all that stuff, but then you get to the end and it's a totally different tone for that ending with what the female. Well, you haven't seen it, so but anyways, for you guys out there who've watched it, they've missed the tone of it. I don't know if I'm gonna go back and watch any more of it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying it. I'm glad people are watching the original Cowboy Bebop, and God bless these guys for trying. Like John Cho, like they tried. They tried. He put out an effort. I just don't see the fit. I just don't see it. It's nothing to do with the casting of ethnicity or anything like it, but he just doesn't have kind of that swagger and stuff that I see on Spike and whatnot. So
That being said, we're both kind of animation sort of cartoony guys, though. So I'm wondering if that kind of sways our opinion, right? Because we both love animation, where animation may be taboo for some people. You know what I'm saying?
I know
Like,
I know exactly what you're saying, and I think that to me is probably one of those sad / sore spots, is that people aren't going to give the anime a chance because it's animated. But to those people, I say, you've watched all this Disney animation. People don't not go see Pixar films, or they do not go see, the Disney stuff. And if people gave this anime a chance, the original Cowboy Bebop, I think they would love it. But yeah. So hey, Cowboy Bebop, kudos. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad, hey, stick by your guns and don't check it out. But you had an interesting, after even just
yeah,
seeing it, you had an interesting casting change who you were
yeah.
thinking for Spike. Let's see that.
For Spike, yes. So what I noticed in the first 4 episodes, he's kind of tall, lanky. He does carry a gun, but it seems like I don't think I've seen him use the gun once. Actually, I did. He shot a virus file, but he's never
Yep,
shot it at a person.
add a person,
Ha-
right?
Yep. So he's kind of like a martial artist fighter. So what's the lead actor's name in the live action? It's Jonathan Chow.
Yep,
I would actually recast it as this guy here, Andrew Koji.
yep,
Have you seen Warriors or Snake Eyes?
yes, I have. I've seen Warrior. Yep.
He definitely knows how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely tall and lanky. I think it would have been better if they casted him as the main Spike, right? Like I photoshopped this, but look at that. How
Yo,
could you?
that's perfect.
Yeah, it looks just like Spike, doesn't it?
It really does. That's super cool, man.
The Jonathan kind of looks a little bit too small and wide, stocky
And ripped.
for
Yeah,
the
he's
yeah.
very ripped. Where Spike kind of just looks like, yeah. Let's throw that other picture back up here. Like, yeah, look at him. He's just like a lanky regular dude, right? But yeah, hey, yo, dude, I love this. That
It's
kudos, man. Props. That's pretty cool. So do you think you're gonna watch a little bit more of the Cowboy Bebop this weekend, or is it on your schedule, or what's on tap for you this weekend?
I'm going to watch a lot more of the Cowboy Bebop anime. And if I
Nice.
finish, I'm not gonna turn down the live action one. I am
Okay,
going to
good.
watch it. I just don't want the animation to be spoiled from the live
Right, that's a
action
good
one,
point. Yeah, yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
I don't want any.
See the original source material first.
Mhm. And
Right on.
another little show came up too this Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
I've actually finished the first 2 episodes. Hawkeye. You haven't seen it yet, correct?
I haven't. That I'm glad you mentioned that. That's on tap for me this weekend.
Yes, Hawkeye. You're a fan of Clint Barton. I like Clint Barton. Do you want me to tell you my opinion
Yeah,
of it?
man. Give us your first impressions of the Hawkeye TV show from Disney Plus.
Meh. Just meh.
Meh,
Meh. Um,
meh.
I I've read a lot of Hawkeye, as you know. I think I know exactly where they're going with the story. They've kind of melted the Matt Fraction storyline with
Yes.
the recent Free Fall, I believe it was called.
Yep.
They've kind of melded them together. There's you know the premise. Hawkeye Clint Barton's looking for the Ronin suit. There's been a murder. Somebody's killed somebody with a sword, and Ronan's been seen across New York. Somebody's wearing the suit, running around. I think I know where they're going with it. I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a new Ronin step up and start killing people, and then it's going to tarnish Clint's name, and he's going to go out and try to save the day.
Try and save it. Okay. So what did you think about the duo here of Hawkeye and Kate?
Kate Bishop, she said in the show she's 22, but she kind of acts a little younger than 22. I don't know if it's because she wasn't blipped out and she kind of missed 4 years or what. I'm not sure, but she seems kind of young. And one
Yep.
thing I noticed while watching the second episode, I believe, she texts on her phone, right? But I think it's a problem with the editing. Her words go really fast, faster than her fingers. So
That's
she's
her superhero power.
I I didn't know Kate Bishop had that superpower, but she clicks one button and a whole word comes up, which is very confusing. I did like the fact that they included where is he? Swordman. Do you remember
Yeah.
Swordman?
Yep. Sword is it Swordman Swordmaster?
No, it's I believe it's Swordman.
Oh,
Jacques
okay.
Jacques something, but
Okay.
sort of kind of Hawkeye's father
Yep.
from the comic, right? Like he's kind of the adopted circus father. Taught Hawkeye how to shoot a bow, and Hawkeye's got a brother, right? Yeah,
Yep.
taught his brother, and he's actually Kate Bishop's what do you call him? Stepfather. He's marrying Kate
Oh,
Bishop's mother, so
interesting.
they're kind of changing it up a
Very
little bit, which I like.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So you're gonna be tuning in for the rest of it, but first impression of the first two episodes were just meh.
It's meh. I I I, I see why people like it, but I've read so much Hawkeye. I know where they're going. I'm. Can I call something right now?
Yes.
Um,
Predictions.
predictions. Kate Bishop's mother is going to dress up as Ronin. It's going to be her, and she's going to be trained by Jacques, sword master here.
Interesting.
He's
Interesting.
kind of a red heron. He's running around doing all these sneaky stuff. He's got a sneaky mustache, but I think it's going to be the his fiance, the mother of Kate Bishop, running around as Ronin, killing people. My
Interesting.
prediction for the show. Let me know what
Interesting.
you think after you watch the first two episodes.
I will. I will. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So I know I got to check that out this weekend. Lots of books came out this week too that I got to catch up on reading. So many cool books this
Okay.
particular week, and then also I'm kind of ashamed to admit I still haven't finished watching Shang-Chi all the way through. You know, I had a busy last couple of weeks since it dropped, and I that's on tap for me to do this weekend. So I'm going to fill up my weekend with comics and then comic book movies and comic book TV shows. So hopefully I'll squeeze in some little bit of work and maybe some video game playing there too. But yes, let's talk about what we read from this week because Wednesday is such an awesome time. It's it's my favorite day of the week. I know Fridays is slowly creeping up there because of this show, and we get to kick back, relax, and talk about all the stuff we love and all the great stuff that came into our shop, Heroes World. But yeah, let's start it off. Let's talk about first book up number one, Black Panther by John Ridley. Yep, that John Ridley. You know him from his movies. And Juan Cabal, one of Marvel's new up and coming artists. They call them the Stormbreakers. This is a new Marvel number one, but of course, it's got the Marvel Legacy numbering to it. And it is kind of a continuation of the previous run. which was helmed by the writer Ta-Nehisi Coates. So yeah, great start to the series. What did you think, Jesse?
I enjoyed it. I'm not big up on the Black Panther backstory and lore and everything behind him. I've seen the movies. I've read a few books, but I'm definitely interested. They introduced are these two new Wakandans?
Yes.
Yes, I'm liking them. Um, I like their fighting style. They're really cool. They're a cool little pair that gets together and fights the bad guys. I like the art. I think
Yeah.
it's very with Black Panther. He's very dark, right? But they ba- balance it with the bright, vibrant colors. So that's really cool. I have been reading the Avengers since #1
So, with Jason Aaron, right?
with Jason Aaron, and I like how they kind of tied it in. Black Panther's kind of been gone, and that now
Yep.
he's back. And I think the first few pages caps like, are you devoted to the Avengers? Like, are you going to be the leader of the Avengers?
Yep. Are you gonna maintain your position as the chairperson? See, that's one of the things I really liked about this book. This book solidifies itself in the current realm.
Mhm.
It sets its place, but it also gives the reader, if they're new to it, just enough background to be able to follow it. It's not leaving you in the dark and in the dust. And I really liked how this first issue basically took some political intrigue because we see that Wakanda now has a new government. T'Challa, as the monarch, as the king, is still the figurehead, but he
Yes.
does not run it. They've gone to an actual democracy, and that's crazy. And so there's some political intrigue, and he kind of butts heads with that council. I like that.
Yeah.
But then also we get, like you said, saw these two new characters, and we know that there's some espionage, some spy stuff going on, and this also is that little bit of political intrigue because you see that T'Challa has made decisions to protect Wakanda and his people's place in the world. And in order to do that, he's embedded sleeper agents all across the globe. And some group has figured that out and is targeting them. Fantastic concept. It's really cool. I can totally see a king doing that to protect his people, protect his land. But I also liked how he brought it back and had the Avengers in it, and they talk. You see at the end of the first issue, there's kind of this prelude of things to come. He's going to butt heads with Cap. He's going to cross paths with the X-Men, and maybe, just maybe, because he's not the actual head of Wakanda, his own bodyguards are going to have to kind of bring him in and stuff. So they've set the tone for this comic right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Excellent first issue. And I think it's going to be good for any reader, whether you know Black Panther or not. And then also, as a nice little bonus, I don't know which cover you grabbed, but I've been really fond of these kind of video game-esque covers. Super cool. Reminds me of the movie. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Man, what a great cover and a great book. So yeah, this week's chock full of good stuff, man. So in this one, yeah, definitely highly recommend it. But speaking of good books and good creators, Jesse,
Yeah.
one of the things I like to do and have to do if people want to value my opinion as a retailer and trustworthy when they come in is I've got to read a lot of books, and I always try and read something new, not just the Marvel, the DC stuff, not your regular superheroes. And I gotta hand it to you because over the course of this show, I've asked you to read books that aren't on your radar or on your pull and hold list. So thanks again for doing that and
Oh, no
and
worries.
giving people your thoughts, because I think it's nice to have a round out type of view about, like, you got the fresh coming in or the old grizzled veteran like myself, who's been around. But so brand new book from Dark Horse Comics by a classic and good. I'm going to call him classic because he's been around for a while and he's had the opportunity to work for the big two, plus to start off with Image, and that's Brian Michael Bendis. And he's got a new book out by Dark Horse called Joy Operations. Here's the cover of it here. I think we've got an image of that.
Yes.
So yeah, Very, very cool book. And I think this is in his Jinx World imprint. Now, Jinx World started at Image Comics, jumped over to Marvel. Some of it was published by DC, and now it's over at Dark Horse. So he's taken his creator-owned stuff all across the globe. But we got this new book by Bendis, as I said, with art by a gentleman named Stephen Byrne. I'm not familiar with his art, but I did quite like this first issue. It's got that kind of utopian kind of very clean, almost like cyber, not cyberpunk, but just cyber futuristic. This is the main character, and she's almost like a bodyguard or a protector of what seems to be the kind of a very influential ruling person in this city state, and they're called, I think, Envoys. And it's pretty cool because the first thing you notice is that she isn't like super young. This is a older protagonist, and has lots of cool gadgets and tech and stuff that you saw, those cool swords. But the neat thing is, in this book, how the story's told is there's a voice in her head and you think it's her monologuing. And by the end of the book, you realize that somebody is in there in her brain giving her information and doing things. And I don't want to spoil too much of the premise, but basically the person in her head has said, hey, that person you're protecting, she's not as good and as wholesome as you think. So since you can get close to her, we want you to take her out. And I'm like, yo, that's super cool, because could you imagine somebody telling you that the person that you work for, respect, and has been, done the city super well, is a negative force? I love this panel. Here she's fighting another type of security device that should have recognized who she is as the Envoy, and she's just trying everything. She's like, using all her gadgets, jumping off a building, got the jump jets in there. So a very cool book, kind of like I said, wasn't high on my radar. Bendis, I think, is unfortunately, not the brightest and biggest run at DC. A lot of people had high hopes for him on Superman, and it didn't quite, I think, bring in the fanfare. But I am loving him on Justice League, and this book is pretty cool too. So if you guys out there are looking for something new, definitely check that book out, especially if you like a more futuristic tale. And again, it's got a little bit of that political type of stuff, because we're going to see how this person works into what they're trying to manipulate in their realm. So I'm hooked. It was a great first issue. And yeah, highly recommend it.
It looks amazing. Like that one panel you brought up there. Like,
yeah,
I love the way the colors all work. We got pinks and we got teals. It looks beautiful.
Right? Yeah, and the panel structure. Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, definitely, guys, you want to put this book on your radar. I know, like I said, it kind of slipped under mine, but I'm glad I picked it up and read it. So what about you? What was top of your reading list this week?
The one book I wanted to pop open right away as soon as I got home was this guy here, DC Vampires. And the reason I wanted to, it's number 2. The reason why I wanted to open it up and check it out is because they advertised that it was a Batman Green Arrow series, which those two guys are some of my favorites.
Yep.
So I the first one, when I was reading through, I think I saw Green Arrow's shoulder, and I think a Batman's shadow, and I was like, come on, guys, you let me down. James Tynion, how did you let me down?
Yeah.
This one, I open it up and boom, right away, we get the Bat family. We got Barbara Gordon, we got Nightwing hanging out, talking. Little weird, though, because they're hanging out during the daytime.
Yes.
And they're talking about how they're so tired from the night before fighting crime. Why does Bruce want us here in the daytime? Well, spoiler, because there's vampires running around the DC universe. Batman has been told by I forget the guy's name, but he's a well-known vampire, I guess, in the DC universe. I've never heard of him. Sorry. But he's been told that vampires are taking over and they're going to wage war against the humans.
Whoa.
So Batman brought his Bat family around to kind of question them, see what's going on, see if there's any vampires amongst them. And there was a very cool page of very cool panels where Damien's drinking hot chocolate,
Yep.
and then stuff's going on in the background. He's like, "Wait, did you poison us all? Are you trying to see if we're all vampires?" And he takes his hot chocolate and throws it across the room. And Bruce replies with, "No, I'm not poisoning you. I made your drinks with holy water."
Oh, nice. That's wicked.
He's like, "If you guys were vampires, you would have burnt up and shriveled up right away." So then Damien's like, "Sorry, Alfred, could I get another hot chocolate?" So it is an Elseworld story because Alfred's alive. In current continuity, he's been dead for almost a year now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really digging the book now. I think I told you on Wednesday, if we don't see Batman or Green Arrow, don't let me buy it because I'm not
Yes.
falling for their traps. But we did. Oh, sorry, wrong picture. We did see Green Arrow too. It seems like he's putting a ragtag team together of villains. So villains and heroes are going to come together and fight the
And these guys are going to go to town on the vampires, right?
vampires. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's another book by James Tynion.
Yep.
The first one, I kind of was upset when I didn't see Green Arrow and Batman, but it wasn't a bad book whatsoever. It was really good. I highly recommend it. I was just a little sour. We didn't see. We don't have the picture here, but it was Green Arrow and Batman on the cover. It looks like they were killing a
Yeah.
whole bunch of vampires. I thought
And it didn't happen. Yeah.
it didn't
Yeah.
happen, but it is a
But
really good book. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no. That's great. No, it's a good book. But you left us with the perfect segue because we're gonna add a brand new
Oh yes.
segment to our show called the Cover of the Week, and this is where Jesse and myself are gonna pick our favorite cover that hit the store shelves at Heroes World. And so I'll go first.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it is DC versus Vampire #2. And this is a cover by Matina. And this is Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, and he has been turned. And I just love this image. It's just raw. It's perfect. It's like evil, like the yell, how the Green Lantern's energy is forming the fangs and the kind of like this spiky armor. Man, I just love this cover. And as an added bonus, they did do a version of it for local comic shop day, which was a foil enhanced version that you could get at brick and mortar comic stores. So that was kind of cool. So that was my cover of the week. Absolutely love it. So I picked it up. So I've got to read the book now because I now have the cover.
You
So
now have it.
I'll
so
be
you-
reading 1 and 2. Hopefully I get through that this week.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover. Like you said, I love how the energy is forming the vampire, and you can kind of see him in the background. His human form, I guess, and then it's surrounded by the energy of the vampire. My
Yeah, and I
cover,
love the
though,
red eye, just how it's streaking. Yeah, very, very cool cover. So what about you, Jesse? What cover this week is your pick of the week?
mine's not as detailed as yours. Mine is from The Flash, and
Nice.
yes, I like this one because we got Dr. Fate. I told you earlier I was going to call him Booster Gold, but I wrote down it's because he's blue and gold. Confuses. But we got Dr. Fate and Flash, and they're looking at a comic book. It's kind of meta, but if you look very closely at that comic book, it is actually the A cover.
Actual cover.
Yeah, so you get two for the price of one with this cover. Right?
That's kind of cool. Kudos to DC and the
Yeah.
artist who did that. Is that oh, I don't know who that cover artist is, but that's kind of a really nice, smart cover. So DC's been knocking it out of the park with their covers and their books lately. So that's pretty awesome.
DC does have the best, in my opinion, the best variant covers. Their B covers are just most of them are
Most of them, yeah, most of them you
Bob
want to get both the A and the B, and it's really tough when there's so many good books out there. It's hard to be doubling up on everything. So
Like both of these,
yeah,
that was the B. This one here is the A, and they both look amazing. Like
yeah,
I
no,
just picked the B there because you get both of best
you
of
get
both worlds.
yeah, no, for sure. That's pretty smart. That's pretty
Yeah.
smart. So yeah, we'll continue our discussion on comics, and this is probably my favorite segment, and this is our Heroes World comic book spotlight of the week. And this is cool because this is where Jesse and I read a bunch of books, and then we together decide which was the book we liked the best and which book we want to promote to you guys to make sure you check out. And let's get our banner up here, Jesse. And yes, the Heroes World comic book spotlight is none other than the new Incredible Hulk by Donny Cates, hot off his run off of Venom, and art by Ryan Ottley, hot off of his run on Amazing Spider-Man. This is a new Hulk book, but it's taking, I think, right following off the heels of the Immortal Hulk. You can see with the legacy numbering, they are keeping it the same. But I want to draw your attention to the cover. Maybe you can't read the small print, so I'm going to read it to you. So, right on the cover, they set the tone for this series. And the quote at the bottom is, "What if the Hulk exists to protect us from Banner?" And I'm like, wow, what a great premise to put on the cover because it sets the stage right away. In Immortal Hulk, we had the opposite. We basically had Banner and Hulk agreeing to share time, and the Hulk was kind of this, for lack of a better term, kind of like this spirit of vengeance. Like Bruce let him out to basically mete out justice on those who wronged people and stuff. And it was a very dark book, and Banner didn't want to remember what the Hulk got up to. But now this is flipping the coin and maybe setting up that all along, what if it is not Banner who's the good guy here? And in this book, we see just that. Several different covers came out for this. We picked this other one because it's actually a scene from the book, and it's a gorgeous Ed McGuinness cover. I really, really like Ed McGuinness's art. And you can see in this image, you see a very angry kind of cyber augmented Hulk ripping apart Iron Man Hulkbuster suits, plural. He's ripped one up there, and you can see two in the background. But yeah, this book, the art is fantastic. Like you see, when you see the Hulk, you see him like this. He's angry. He's smashing down doors. He's just putting out like the epitome of rage and stuff. And then we've got really good art on the people. So here we see Bruce Banner and Betty Ross. So Jesse, maybe you didn't catch this one, but I really liked how they put this page in and this dialogue, because right away this was the clue for any readers that you knew what you're seeing is all in Bruce's head, because Betty, the love of his life, has been dead. She's been dead for years. And here we have Bruce having this dialogue with her, and she's trying to convince him. She's like, "Hey, Bruce, this is not you. You are not like this," and stuff like that. And he's pretty much, I think he's at the point in his life where he's just frustrated. And that really comes across in this book. And yeah, I really dug this book, man.
Yeah,
I gotta say, this this is kind of an iteration of Slash the Hulk and Bruce Banner that I like. I really liked World War Hulk and Planet Hulk, where when Hulk came back from being launched into space, he was Marvel almost set him up as this powerful bad guy, and he basically broke the Avengers and stuff like that. So I like that concept already. So hopefully they do that. And this book had me thinking back to that time. Like, I think we've got the panel where do we have the panel where the Avengers are all basically discussing what they need to do with the Hulk? They're like, Banner's on the loose, or what, that we can't stop them. What's our plan? And it's cool because, again, they don't just, it doesn't say guest starring the Avengers or whatever, but basically Doctor Strange and the Avengers around this table, and they're like, hey, you know what? We've got to stop the Hulk. He's on a trajectory to do something. And yeah, it's just such a cool book. So sorry to keep rambling on about it, Jesse. What did you like about it?
I liked how it was kind of Star Trek-y. So Bruce Banner is stuck in his head.
Yep.
Well, he's not stuck. He's
very cerebral.
He's controlling the Hulk through his head, and he's captaining his ship. And the Hulk is his vessel, and he's deciding what to do with the Hulk. He's controlling it from his little command chair. Do we have a picture of his command chair? Can't remember.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, there we go. It was kind of like Star Trek and comic books all collided, and they have a special weapon. I won't go into what the special weapon is, but
yep,
he presses his engage button, and stuff goes crazy.
And stuff goes crazy. Yeah, and check out like this fight scene here, man. Like, look at the Hulk just giving it to that Hulkbuster Iron Man suit. A great fight. Great first issue. Here's another one like this. He's just knocking him. And again, the as Jesse mentioned, the captaining in the chair. This is a metaphor. Like, this means that Bruce is in command and control of the Hulk. And we usually see it. It's kind of this relationship where it's like kind of a melding of the two. But this time we have literally the Hulk, I think, being controlled against his will. And that's why we get him, metaphorically speaking. You see the Hulk just punching and rage. He's trying to break through this mental cage that the Banner has basically locked him in. He's basically a passenger in his own body at this point. But yeah, crazy good book. Listen, you know, we're bringing you this show every week and giving you guys something to contemplate buying and checking out. But you definitely have to buy this book. It is fantastic. And again, if you're not a Hulk fan, start. This is a good book, and I'll tell you, by the ending of it, I have no idea where this book is going, but it excites me. Like, that last panel is just like super cool. I don't think you'll be disappointed by this book. Donny Cates has done some crazy stuff in Venom. He's done some great stuff in Thor. Yeah, just join in for this ride. At least check out the first story arc. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. If you are disappointed, comment. I want to hear why or what you think about it, because right now, very cool book. So this book and Black Panther this week, two books that I don't usually have high expectations for, and both of them Marvel knocked it out of the park.
Well, the Hulk is done by Ryan Ottley, right? So
the art, Ryan Ottley and Donny Cates.
Invincible, right?
Yep, he's from Invincible. Yep.
So you can really tell he knows how to draw a fighting scene. If you've ever seen and/or read Invincible, like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool. All right, so that runs us down on our comic talk, but we've got a new segment because it is the holiday season upon us. So we are going to run down some of our Heroes World gift recommendations in our new segment called the Heroes World Wish List. So up first in our first wish list segment, we have got the brand new DC Direct Batman, the animated series lineup, and these figures are fan-freaking-tastic. These figures follow the Batman the Animated Series season continues DC comic book line. So these are the first time we are getting some of these figures, like Deathstroke the Terminator, as well as you saw the Red Hood. Now, if you guys know a little bit about DC Direct, it's DC's toy line. But earlier on last year, they actually put these figures on hiatus, and all their statues and DC Direct merchandise was put on hold as DC kind of cut its relationship with Diamond and stuff. So there was a lot of this product that was kind of up in the air. We didn't know if we were going to get it. And there has been a new relationship that has been signed between McFarlane Toys and DC Direct. And McFarlane Toys will be distributing these figures. So we got these great figures. Jesse, I know you picked up a couple of them. Which ones did you get out of this brand new wave?
Well, I actually got the Batman because Batman is a must. I haven't
Yep.
opened him yet though, but
All right.
I'm saving
But
it for
you
the
are
weekend.
going to open him, right?
Toys are meant to be played with. They're not meant to
Yes.
be stuck in plastic.
Yes. Free those toys.
And I may have added on my Christmas list this guy here
Yes.
because I love Red Hood. Maybe Santa Claus will bring him to me. Maybe not. We'll see. But
Nice.
I just love that helmet that he's got there.
Yeah, it's such a
It's-
cool stylized version. Fits perfectly with that animated style. I love the Nightfall Batman, Azrael Batman. So cool. These figures just look fantastic, bright, colorful, and one of the greatest iterations of Batman. The animated series lineup of cartoons and comic books were phenomenal. So, if you are a action figure aficionado or you just like cool stuff, put these guys on your Christmas wish list. We've got them at the store, but they will not last long. So hopefully you get out there and get them while they're hot. But let us also give you another gift recommendation. You know, a lot of people have Secret Santas and stuff like that, and they're looking for a great game or an item that is under $20. And I give you brand new Marvel Spot It. What is Spot It? It is a fun matching memory game. All right. So every card on the Spot It or in the Spot It deck has two symbols that match. You have to call out the match fast before anyone else does. There are several different modes of play, but this game is super cool. I have multiple versions of this. Play it with my nephews all the time. It's good family fun for all ages. And it's a great price point. And Marvel has never been more popular. You can get your young family members or young friends to learn all about the superheroes and stuff. And as I said, great packaging. And this item is $16.99. So it's going to be under $20 if you've got those Secret Santas and stuff like that. And yeah, just a great game. Also comes in a lot of other versions, but because we're Heroes World, we do like to carry anything that is superhero related. So highly recommend the new Marvel Spot It. Again, super cool. That's the little tin it comes in. You might even just want to pick it up just to have to pass some time. It's super cute and a lot of fun. So there's a couple items for the Heroes World holiday wish list. So every week we're going to be bringing you a couple of items that we recommend for you and yours over this holiday gift giving season for whatever you celebrate. So guys, that wraps up another TGIF show. Hopefully you get some time this weekend. If you're spending it with family, make some time to nerd out and enjoy your hobbies, whether it's comic books, card games, role playing games, board games, video games, or you're catching up on some of the great television. Make sure you just be thankful for those people in the States celebrating American Thanksgiving. And make sure you continue to tune in to Heroes World because we have got all kinds of great content coming at you several days a week, starting on Sunday with our Heroes World podcast, the live show, the Sidekick Show on Monday, Thursday. So what I miss, geek and fantasy news, talking about movies, television shows, all kinds of stuff. We're going to catch you up on all your nerd news. And of course, this show right here, live on Twitch, and then posted up on YouTube after Heroes World, TGIF. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the other side.